What's up, my people? Welcome back to another exciting road trip from your soon-to-be favorite urban traveler. Now in this video, which is set in 2 European countries, I'm going to address 5 things you should consider before booking your trip to Europe. Now I know most people are probably going to think the first thing to consider is how much is it going to cost. Now, worrying about how much your trip is going to cost is a sure way to either plan a lousy trip or to not travel at all. Okay, everybody says they want to travel. But let's be honest, most people find reasons not to travel. So I think the first thing you have to do is turn that around. You have to give yourself reasons that traveling is a good idea. You have to change your motivation. Once you do that, it becomes easier to figure out everything else. That brings us to our first question. Why are you traveling? I mean, what's the reason for the trip? The consideration to that question should dictate everything from that point forward. Question number 2. Where do I want us to go?
Come on.
Well, it wasn't my favorite place on this trip, which actually turned out to be another road trip. Barcelona is a very pretty city, lots to see.
Dead right, if the head right, Biggie there, every night. Papa been school since days of under rules. Never lose, never choose to. Bruise, cruise, who? Do something to us. Talk, go through us. Girls want to us, wanna do us.
Maria, she remind me of a West Side Story. Growing up in Spanish Harlem. She live on the line just like a movie star.
Check it out.
So, question number 3. What's the relationship to the ones you're traveling with? This is an important question because if it's going to be a good trip, your activities have to be based on who you're traveling with. They can't be based on what you want to do or what they want to do. They have to be based on what y'all want to do. If you're one of those people who like to go somewhere and just chill on the beach, as nice as the scenery is here, I don't think this is the place to come. There's too much to do, too much history, too much to see. Brings me to my next question. What kinds of activities do you both enjoy? You might have seen in the Costa Rica video where my daughter found and fell in love with surfing.
What'd you say?
These waves are awesome.
Me, I wasn't so good at it, but we both have always loved whitewater rafting. So in my head, I knew she'd like jet skiing. I didn't do this tour, Ilana did the tour with the company all by herself. The not so good part is, we waited an hour and a half. The tour was supposed to be 30 minutes and it cost $120. That in itself was bad because I've paid less in other countries and got a longer tour. But not only was our service unprofessional, after waiting over an hour and a half, our 30-minute tour only lasted 20 minutes. But that smile right there is the reason I let it go. I am fortunate enough to have a daughter who is daring. On a trip, she'll try almost anything once. That's why she's my road dog. But she's also an artist. Actually, before anything else, she's an artist first. And that's why we had to come check out this wonderful place. This is Antonio Gaudi's most famous work, La Sagrada Familia. It's also the reason we came to Barcelona.
This whole facade is the Passion of Christ. It was the first thing that they worked on, and I'm pretty sure it was completed first. Gaudi was the one who worked on it himself.
And it's the only facade that Gaudi actually saw finished.
These columns, the bottom, like Gaudi really liked the natural stuff. He didn't like straight lines and geometric figures like that.
Gaudi designed La Sagrada Familia to look as if it was coming from the earth. Instead of straight up, the columns curved from the ground into the building.
They go like that.
Because God created nature, he wanted the church to look more natural.
Someone kissed Jesus' face, and then up there is when his face got imprinted into Mary Magdalene's cloth.
Always got to find the McDonald's whenever I go somewhere, and there it is. Boom.
Directly across the street from the most famous building in Barcelona.
I cannot believe how good it feels out here. This weather is so amazing today.
One thing you will find in Barcelona, plenty of chances to shop. They have more stores. Man, they even have some of the same stores we have. Theirs just look prettier. Most of the places seem to have a chill place for those who don't shop while we waited for those who do shop. One of the places even had an outdoor patio. So chill, I ended up taking a nap. So we arrived at the Toulouse train station about 10 o'clock at night. Then we had to go pick up our car. But our car was at the airport, which meant we had to take a train to the airport to pick up a rental car. That's why she's my road dog.
E se muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire e seppellire lassù in montagna. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 seppellire lassù in montagna, sotto l'ombra di un bel fiore.
Toulouse was the closest city to our first treehouse, so that's why we had to stop there. I actually like Toulouse. Cool little city. Kind of reminded me of a smaller version of Paris. Without the river and the tower, of course, but it's where we had to be because this is where we began our road trip. Which brings me back to question number one. Why are you traveling? Every year for the past 10 years, my daughter and I have taken some type of road trip. It's sort of a birthday present from me to myself. Another gift I like to give myself? The chance to stay in a treehouse. Especially since most of the time they're really not that expensive. And what fool wouldn't want to stay in a treehouse? So that's $322 for 2 nights in the south of France. Yo. Now, this is not the first treehouse we stayed in, nor is it our first Airbnb. So it wasn't much of a gamble as to whether it would put a smile on my daughter's face or not. Still in all, as a parent, there's nothing better. Hey, dude.
Where are we going?
We're on our way. Yeah, man. Heading to the next treehouse. On the road, countryside of France. Can't beat that with a stick. We've flown, driven, taken a train, subway, Segway tour. That's 5 ways we've gone from point A to point B. But that's what you have to do. You have to consider how you're going to get to where you want to visit, and once you get there, how you're going to get around. You have to consider what will be your mode of transportation, because you don't want to be anywhere talking about how am I going to get there, especially when you're on vacation. Okay, hopefully this is it. We just pulled up. Let's see what happens. Ilana has a limp. Now, your modes of transportation and where you're going to stay kind of go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to get to where you're going to stay? So, this treehouse was $168 a night. We only stayed one night, though. So with taxes and fees, it came out to $208. But we're in France in August. So, there's running hot and cold water, 2 beds, 2 rooms, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, heating, all the creature comforts. And then there's this quality time that I get to spend with my daughter.
What was that?
I wasn't used to it.
Oh man.
I'm injured.
What's injured?
My ankle.
Faker.
Do you want me to film it this way?
I don't know.
You might get copyrighted. I don't know.
There you go. Wakanda forever.
That's not what they do.
Huh?
That's not what they do.
One of the things I liked about the 2 tree houses in France, they always brought us breakfast. Brought it, left it, didn't wait for a tip, put it in the basket, and they were on about their business. What can I say about La Rochelle? Other than the fact that it's an amazing little city and you should look it up and visit it, it's now one of my favorite places because it rocks in the summertime. La Rochelle was one of our roundabout stops on our way to Paris. Initially, it was the place we were going to jet ski before I decided on Barcelona.
Turned out to be a good day after all.
Now, though this wasn't a party cruise like the catamaran tour in Costa Rica, this crew was so professional and they went out of their way to be hospitable. And that's all the fella wants. Treat me like you want me to be there. After the catamaran tour, we went back to our apartment, another Airbnb, and just chilled. Then later, we went back out to walk around, grab some eats and treats. But I gotta tell you, La Rochelle at night in August, such a beautiful place. So much activity and yet calm and peaceful. And then the summer breeze. It's the kind of stuff that's usually reserved for the rich and famous. And yet I was able to take my daughter there.
First night in Paris. Gotta love it. Just left the Brooklyn pizza with that one. Yep.
You know, the moments you create with someone are special. Good or bad, they're forever etched in our memories. As trips are supposed to be, this trip was special. It's actually another trip where we hated that it was over. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. Hope you liked it. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and leave a comment. I'd like to know what you think. Peace.